Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Jackson is going to do one cast. Well, if he could fish, he could. I'm going to do one cast. Today is Wednesday, the 7th of December. And I boated up here just above the resort. And when I left the dock, it was real glassy water, and I boated up here really because of the chop on the lake right here, which may or may not last very long. There's been a few fish midging up here, which I'll keep an eye on, but in the meantime, I'm just going to fish a jig under a float. So I get my rods untangled here. Okay, I've got a Lilley's micro jig on, sculpin head, and kind of a light brown grizzly hackle, 6X tippet under a float about 4 feet. 4.5 feet or so. I'm going to throw over on the shallow side. They're not running any water this morning. Get all set up here. Okay. I think I'm pretty well set now. And there's first cast. Those that have fished here before, familiar with the lake, we have a set of power lines going over the lake right here, and it's actually power lines that start at the dam. They're high voltage, whatever you want to call them. They're very high in the air, and there's about 7 wires or so. Now I've got a chopping, nice little chop. Anyhow, they're putting up new poles on both sides, and today they dropped at least 2, maybe 3 lines. I guess eliminating some of the lines, and they dropped them, cut them from this side. They dropped in the lake, and then they pulled them across. So that was interesting to watch. Okay, nothing on the first cast. Change places. We are going out to Silver Dollar City this afternoon with the grandkids. That might have been a bite. Caleb's kids have not been out there before, so it ought to be fun for them. Kind of working my way over here to the shallow side. I will say the one pointer I have for today in fly fishing, and I've said this before, but it's good to repeat, is when you're fly fishing and you're almost on every occasion, there are a few occasions that you would hold your rod up, but most of the time you got to hold that rod tip really close to the surface of the water, unless you're mending or setting the hook or stripping. And the reason for that is you don't want, if you hold it high in the water, or high over the water, you lose a little bit of power when you set the hook, for one thing. And and you don't want, if you have wind like this, you don't want that wind to be blowing that line. So you hold that rod tip really close to the water. I've seen people fishing here lately, especially out of the boats, and they've got their rod tip out over the water, 3 feet a lot of times. It's like they're not wanting my jig. I've got a zebra midge, and I think I have. Yeah, I got 2 zebra midges on. If I fish a zebra midge, I'm not going to target fish because they're really not coming up very much at all. I've lost my chop. Okay, one more cast. Then I'm going to switch. So if it's flat water, then I need to move that float to give the jig a little bit of action. Okay, let's try a zebra midge. I was tempted just to throw a jig, but I've done that for a couple of days in a row. We're not leaving yet, Jack. Okay. Got that black with the copper red rib and the snow cone top white. And I'm going to fish it a little deeper than what I have it. I'll go about 3 foot deep. Remember, the zebra midge is really good for flat water. This fish will take a zebra midge in choppy water or flat water. Okay, I'm going to throw over here because fish just came up. I kind of wanted to go down this shallow bank anyhow, so we'll just do that. Oh, I wish I could throw down there. There's a fish midgeon just below me, a little bit out of my range. There's a fish. I did want to mention I'm still trying to raise money for my plunge, which is a week from tomorrow, Thursday the 15th. Raising money for our food pantry here in Taney County. I am on the board. I have been on the board for about 8 years, and And I'll put the link in the description where you can go and donate. Hey, give $5 if you can. I mean, I know it takes a while to fill all that stuff out. It's kind of a pain. I think it's come on. I think it's neat to have a lot of people give just a little bit of money to stuff like this. But we're going to put it on Facebook Live, on the resort site, and on Cam's site. I actually brought some forceps, believe it or not. So I'm using such small flies. Excuse me. So Michelle, the director of Cam, came over today. We were planning out our strategy for next Thursday. So we have 11 people jumping. We're going to jump off the dock. Local, not celebrity, but local radio guy, Greg Pyron, I believe, is going to MC the event. And I know we got the sheriff of Taney County jumping. Pat Hagood's jumping. Clay Cooper, if he raises enough money, will jump. I think the goal, Michelle said the goal is to raise $11,000 between all of us, so that's kind of the goal. But it's going to be interesting. We've never done anything like this before. As far as, you know, at the resort. I think I told Michelle that she ought to have some EMTs standing by in case any of us have a heart attack when we go in. Of course, we'll be wearing life jackets. Kind of got pushed out away from the bank. I kind of just wanted to stay in close. You can hear those guys working on those metal pipes. And those things are big. Okay, this is my last cast. Well, I'm glad I caught one. Sure is quiet out here except for those guys. I mean, as far as the lake, not many boats out. But this is December. This is kind of our off season. What was that? Okay. This is the one fish, one cast. Thanks for watching, and thanks for considering giving the cam, and we'll see you tomorrow.